What's going on? It's Why Not Us podcast. It is Tuesday. Y'all already know what it is. Life of a DJ entertainer with freaky DJ Ragtop in the building, aka Mario, aka he know what he doing. He the DJ. Man, Mario, how you feeling mentally, man?
I am feeling mentally strong and mentally ready.
Mmm. Let's go. All right, so your 25th anniversary. Now, how was it? Like, you enjoy
Oh,
yourself and
oh man, yes, it was great. We went down to Wilmington, and like I said, we back in the old days, me and wife when we used to date, we used to go down to New Bern to the boardwalk, walk on the riverfront, and that was our thing, was always to go and just hang out around water. So
yeah,
Wilmington, we said, okay, you know what? We knew this weekend was going to be extremely busy. Didn't want to travel too far because normally we go to Myrtle Beach, but we already knew Myrtle Beach was going to be completely crazy. So we decided to go to Wilmington, and we had a good time. We did the riverboat. We got a chance to act like we were kids all over again.
that's what
Um,
it's about.
so we had a real good time. And then, like I said, we stopped. Of course, we stopped at the mall. Did a little shopping.
Hmm.
We really had a good time. We stayed overnight and came on back the next day, and it was great. I mean, our whole week of celebration. Look, that's probably why I'm looking tired, because I've been celebrating the whole week. So
Yeah, because you look like you tired, but guess what? That's hey, you put in work. I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy for both of y'all. And love is a beautiful thing. And yeah, just continue to do what you're doing to each other. So I most definitely had to ask about that because I seen the pictures. I seen y'all on the water and everything like that. I'm like, yo, I want to do that. I like that. So I saw you. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all was at a restaurant on the water. Or
no,
was it just like
it's just a boat.
okay,
We did the river cruise, or the river tour, where they
okay,
take you out on the boat and they give you a tour of the Cape Fear River down there. And
okay,
it was like an hour. That's an hour ride. So we went out there, enjoyed that for an hour, and then kind of checked out downtown Wilmington and saw some stuff I never knew existed down there. And it was good. It's like we got a chance to see Wilmington from a different. Normally, when we go to Wilmington, we're visiting somebody, or I'm going down there to work. But
yeah.
this time it was different. It was definitely different.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Like I said, it's always good to celebrate love. Is love is a powerful thing. Black love is a powerful thing. Black excellence. So I'm happy for y'all for sure. But listen, what are we talking about today? What you putting us on today, Mario?
Well,
What's
today
good?
I'm about to go deep. I'm about to go so deep that I might lose a couple of people. I know this is good information across the board for the customer and also for DJs, but I'm going to talk about what makes an operation good. I'm talking about operational procedures, and I'm talking about equipment to improve operation, or kind of explains why my setup is different from everybody else's setup, and what makes me different from other DJs, because the way you set up operation is pretty much how successful you'll always be when you're DJing. And because
Okay.
I'm unique and I do a lot more than just DJ, I really want to kind of highlight that to show people how your operation can set you aside different from all other DJs.
Okay.
So we're gonna jump right into it. I got pull up the PowerPoint presentation,
All right.
and let me see here. Hit the share.
Man, you always coming correct, man. I love it. I love it. I love the PowerPoints, man.
That's my specialty.
I love the PowerPoints.
Okay.
All right.
Be careful sharing the audio. Okay, got it.
You
All
got
right.
it? All
Yep,
right. Bet.
got it. So pretty much my operation is set up a little bit different, and that's what I want to talk about. I call it CTEC. CTEC is a quick way of saying what my operation is. CTEC stands for create the vision, tell the story, entertain the guests, and capture the moments. So
Let me
as a
hold on.
DJ,
Hold on. Give me 1 second, cause I gotta move.
that's that little symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and move that out the way real quick. I apologize, y'all.
Oh,
Let
you're
me give
good.
me a second. Let me see. Let me see. Hi. All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing on. All right. There it go.
Okay. So that's pretty much my whole operational concept. Not too many DJs do video photography as they're DJing, and that's something that I'm going to talk about how I'm able to do that by using certain types of equipment. And then next week, I'll get more into the software and the streaming music portion of it, which kind of simplifies the operation.
Okay.
All right. So, with that being said, go right into the presentation. Okay, there we go. So, like I was saying before, CTET. What CTET stands for is create the vision, tell the story, entertain the guests, and capture the moments. Now, if you sit back, and I want people to think about this, when it comes time for you to do your event, what's the first? Some of the things you have to purchase, or I should say, go out and get services for, is you have to get a photographer, a videographer, or a DJ to do all three. So, like one, the DJ is to entertain, play music. The photographer is supposed to be kept. So photographer, videographer are capturing the moments. So what I've done is I incorporated those items in to what I do because I am a photographer. I do a little photography on the side. I am a videographer because I've done that. Now my skill set, my last 3 years in the military, I was what we call a public affairs representative, and by being a PAO or PAR, allows me to interact with people from telling stories, capturing video, capturing pictures of those different stories that I have to capture. So by those last 3 years, I got a chance to work with different types of equipment, cameras, video cameras. And so what I did was because of all that skill set, I used that to incorporate into my setup. And by doing so, I had to get kind of like a little bit more hands-on with technology. Because like before, when I first started, I did have a designated person that was my photographer, and went like I had two different photographers that I would go to, and got to the point where they couldn't like technically I couldn't rely on them because they had a busy schedule because
Yeah.
they were working another job, primary job. So I had to do something. So what I did was I hired iPads. And
Okay.
when I say hire iPads, I pretty much purchased iPads to take the place of people. So, with that being said, I have quite a few different employees when it comes to that operation. So, with that being said, this is a complete rundown of all the equipment that I use when I do my event. Now, when you see all this technology, you were thinking that I would have a whole army of people working for me, but I don't. So here you have I have two Dell laptops. They're both equipped to do the exact same thing. One is a lot faster than the other one, but they're both equipped to be able to do the same thing. Then I also have an iPad Pro. I have a MacBook Air. I have three regular iPads, and then three mini iPads. Now, all this, I'm gonna break it all down here in a few minutes on how all this plays into capturing and video those different things that are going on. And then one of the things I also want to highlight is I have the Field World Live Pro L1 multimedia video, which allows me to control technically four different devices when it comes to broadcasting, streaming, or to just highlight on TV screens. And then, of course, the four Zoom cameras, which you'll see here all, as well. And I'll talk about all those here in a few minutes. But before I get deep into the detail of the equipment, I want to talk about how I capture the moments. Now, capture the moments is where you're taking photography and you're doing videography. So what I
Okay.
incorporated was I took all the different iPads and gave them specific tasks to be able to capture. During that time, all these iPads are connected to a network. When you're dealing with Apple products, you can actually connect all your devices to share information. So
Mm.
mine are set up to where they're sharing information. So like my iPad Pro is kind of like the command and control of this so-called network. And from there, from pictures from the selfie station, which is one of my iPads, that's the iPad 8 generation, from my sixth generation mini, which is my video broadcaster. So all these different devices are all connected to one network. So when those devices are connected, no matter which one is doing something, it automatically shares it to a shared drive, or I should say, Apple iCloud for some people, the iCloud. And I'm able to capture all these moments and put them in one location, and I don't even have to do anything. It automatically does it itself. So when it comes time for me to turn around and give it to the customer, it's normally within a 24-hour turnaround I'm able to give them everything. Now, when it comes to Zoom cameras, that's a little different process. But like when it comes to the iPads, I'm able to give a quick turnaround to my customers. That's why I like using iPads, is because they're pretty much doing their own tasks without me having to even touch them.
Okay. So look, okay, so the iPad Pro, right? That's the control system, right?
That's the control.
So do you hooking all that up to the iPad Pad Pro, or is it a mixer that you hook it up to, or how does
No,
that
well,
go?
see, all the iPads are all connected to one network. So let's say if you was on the internet and your
Mm-hmm.
computer's connected to internet, well, with the iPad, iCloud, it allows you to share what's going on from each device. So as
Okay.
I am operating, let's say for example, like a lot of people, they'll see that I have that iPad Pro right there at the DJ station, and that iPad Pro, where is it at? Just had it. That iPad Pro, did I drop it? Here it is. The iPad Pro allows me to actually see what's going on from each one. So, for
Okay.
example, I'm gonna pull up an event real quick, just so y'all can see this. So when I am, let's say when it comes to do the, um, let's see here. Okay, for example, let's see if y'all can see that. Let me get this thing. Let me close this. I got my presentation over here. Okay, so as you see, you really can't see it that well, but what it is this is the I. If I can see that,
Yeah,
okay.
I can see the pictures and I see some writings on the other side, but I know
So
you're gonna tell us.
so pretty much what that is this is where we call the Apple Cloud and the
Okay.
iCloud. And see with the iCloud, what happens is when you take a picture, if you have it set up, if you take a picture of your iPhone, your iPad, let's say if you have an iPhone, you have an iPad. When you take pictures, they automatically go to the iCloud. So when you go to the iCloud, any device can go in and see what was done. So here on this one, you see these are actual pictures from the selfie station. So once a person takes pictures from the selfie station, I immediately get notified that there's pictures taken. And so when I get those, I automatically can go in and see what the pictures look like. So at the
Okay.
same time, if I have another iPad set up to where either I'm broadcasting or if I'm taking pictures or video, I actually could tap in and see what's going on with that one as well. So in other words, it's kind of like I have employees, but it's all technology.
Got you.
So
Got you.
by me being able to use this capability, I'm able to do more than a regular DJ. I'm able to capture pictures. I'm able to do video recordings. So when a person walks away from their event, they have now again, if they have professionals, that's fine. But like for example, this is from this past weekend.
Okay.
So that's just one iPad capturing that moment.
That was from the godly event or the God
The gathering, yes,
okay,
that was
okay.
from Friday. So for me, is I'm able to like I said, I'm able to do a lot more than a regular DJ. And then that's just the part is that I always hear this as well. How are you able to video record, take pictures, and DJ at the same time? Well, again, it goes back to using the proper equipment. And then, like I said, as far as the software, I'm gonna get more in detail because software alone is a class, or I should say, a presentation all by itself. But today, I'm just talking about the hardware, and by using iPads, using Apple products, and I again once upon a time, I used to hate Apple, didn't care, did never ever wanted Apple product. And then when what you call it when I guess when Samsung stuff start blowing up, I said, "Oh, time to move change over." So I changed over to Apple, and since then I've been using Apple like crazy. But the
Okay.
technology that Apple products give you is awesome. And then like with the iPad Pro, it has the M1 chip in it. So by having that chip, you're able to do a lot of great things, multitask and everything from that one iPad. So by me connecting into different iPads, I'm able to do a lot more for my customers.
Okay. Okay.
So so that's just something. that people, so like this little network or just all iPads. Normally, I think the minimum iPads I use for an event is 4, but I can use up to all 8 if I need to. When I say 8, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, it's actually 7 plus my iPhone, so yes, technically 8 for me, but 7 for iPads. All right. So going on now, a whole different thing of capturing is when I use the actual video cameras, or I should say the dance cam setup that I have, which a lot of people have seen, where I have the 3 cameras that are set up on my DJ booth, and I use those 3 cameras to be able to capture different things. Normally, I actually, when I hit record, I let these cameras record everything without stopping. The iPads are given a task to record by show, so what they do is I actually record piece by piece from the iPad, but the actual Zoom camera captures everything. And I have 3 of
Okay.
those that are pretty much set up. Now, what I could do in this setup is I could connect one iPad, and then the different, like I said, you like by using the MacBook Air. Again, I'm able to see what's going on inside that network because again, it's an Apple product. So I can actually capture, see what's going on with those different devices, and then highlight up on the TV screens. So that gives me, this is the connection in, or if I have an iPad connected to it, I can do the same thing. But this just again is something that highlights what's going on, what's taking place during the event. So you actually real time, you're able to see exactly what's going on with this network.
I like that setup.
So here it just kind of gives you a full rundown behind the scenes of a wedding. Where in this setup, I have two Dell laptops set up, and you can see I have that one Zoom camera
Mm-hmm.
pointing to where I'm able to capture everything, and then I have a monitor designated to where I can see what the customer sees. And this video mixer allows me to control all these different inputs and highlight them on the TV screen.
Okay.
So
Okay.
again, this is something unique and different that a lot of DJs don't have this kind of setup because, like I said, it does require a lot. I mean, it's kind of like it's one of those things you're multitasking because you're video recording, you're taking pictures, you're highlighting, you're broadcasting, and you're doing this all from one system. Now, one of the things I have the DJs say, okay, what are you using for a controller? Well, for a controller nowadays, the software makes it easy for you to control the music without a controller. So is that hard to do? No. And like me, I'm a computer kind of very computer literate type person to where I'm real good with computers. So it's easy for me to be able to manipulate the music, the videos, and what I'm capturing all at one time. So this is just a quick rundown. I'm gonna go through these real fast, and then we'll talk a little bit more in detail. So like here, this is a Dell laptop. This is pretty much this is a top of line Dell laptop. It's an i7 processor. It has 2 terabyte hard drives. One is a solid state, and then one is a regular hard drive. A solid state means it's processed a lot faster. So pretty much on a solid state, this is where all my music and my videos are on that. And
Okay.
the secondary now, as a DJ, is always be prepared to have a backup. Never ever go in with one device. Always have a backup. So like with me, I have 2 laptops. So this laptop is a little bit more, it's a little bit not as fast as the first one, but it still get the operation done. So those are the two. They're both 17-inch screens because I like to be able to see everything. So by having 17-inch screen, which is the biggest screen you can get for a laptop. Then I have the MacBook Air. Normally, I don't use the MacBook Air as much as I used to, but most of the time when I did use it, it was more so for video effects, and then
Okay.
the backup DJ system. Don't really use it as much. I'm actually even thinking about getting rid of it, but yeah, I don't use it as much as I should. I had bought one because it seemed that's the only product I didn't have by Apple. So I did buy one, and it was okay. Not really a big fan of the MacBook, but I mean because again, it like the Dell, a suit of Dell is just as good as the MacBook. I've been Dell all my life, so
Yep, me too. I'm on a deal right now.
So I always use Dell. So the iPad Pro. Now, if you're looking to go purchase that, I'm just talking about in general. For a DJ, videographer, for me, the iPad Pro is the best thing because it not only does it take great pictures, it does great video, everything and so forth. If you was looking into getting into videography, photography, I would honestly, God, say, please go check out the iPad Pro because the quality of the videos and then all the accessories that you can get to improve your operation as a photographer, videographer, this is awesome. And so with this, I use this because when I take pictures, most of the pictures and video clips that you see on my page, when I post stuff, a lot of people's like, well, dang, your pictures are just as good as a regular photographer. I'm gonna make sure because I'm not trying to downgrade any photographer at all. Photographers put in a lot of hard work and they have some extremely high-tech equipment. I consider myself not to be a professional because I'm taking the easy way. It's called what I'm doing, the point and shoot scenario versus where you have to download the raw material from your cameras and you have to edit it. With the iPad Pro, it does all that in one time. So it automatically adjusts the focus. It tries to capture as much as, it kind of helps you walk you through and taking the picture. So if you're not a good photographer or if you're trying to get into it, I highly recommend looking at the iPad Pro because not only you can use it just for photography, videography, but you can also use it to improve any operational business wise. And then when it comes to marketing yourself, guess what? The iPad Pro, all day long, you can sit back and do all this in one time. Take the picture, post it, and you don't have to go to a separate device to do it. Okay. And then the additional iPads, like I have just a regular iPad. Normally the regular iPads are just to do simple tasks. Like in this case, I use this one as an audio support. This is pretty much just set up in a case, or I should say with a mixer. It allows me to be able to do mixes or anything like that if I need to. Normally, this is more so I'll probably use this more so for cocktail hour or something like that, to where I'll put it on remote and let it play its own, like kind of like let the music play on its own. The photo booth, again, it's just a regular iPad 8th generation. It pretty much, I slide it into the slot that's designated, put on the app for photo booth, and bam, it takes the pictures. And then at this point in time, when they take their pictures, the guests can email or text it to themselves.
Okay, so listen, with the photo booth, right? The photo booth operations. So it's set up like in a booth type vibe, or
what it is I built because of how I operate, I built my own selfie station, my own photo booth, and I designed it to where all I have to do is slide an iPad into it and let the iPad take over.
okay. Do you have to press a button for them to take? Okay, so they have to press the button on the thing. Was it like a remote to come with
No,
it,
it's
or
like what it is that when they go in, and that's another thing good about Apple is when you purchase an app, your app can be shared on all your Apple devices. So here
okay?
I have what is called the photo booth, the Pocket Booth, which can be downloaded. Now, the reason why I like Pocket Booth is it costs $40. You can put on as many Apple devices that are connected to your account, and you never have to pay a monthly fee. Like
Okay.
most of the other photo booths, you're going to pay anywhere between $100 to $300 a month just because of the software that you have attached to it. So what makes the photo booths that people are these like high tech booths, the 360, you have to pay a monthly fee for the software. There is no,
Okay.
so there is. I keep hearing there's a standalone software, but I haven't seen it yet. So most of the people I've talked to that have their photo booths, they're paying anywhere between $100. I mean, some might be paying, I think, like $79, and then they're paying up to $300 a month. But with this app, what you can see here is all you have to do is push the green button.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, got you. Got you. Now
And it
I
takes a
understand.
picture. So then the picture comes up, and then it gives you the option to where you can text it or email to yourself. Now, one of the things I like I said again, is not is once you pay your $40, you don't have to pay anymore. So again, this is cost effective for me, so it saves money for the customer. Now, a lot of these other places, like they have photo booths, they have to pay for the software, so that's why their prices are higher. Is they have to pay money for it. All right. So
I
moving on.
like it though. I like the fact that you can just press that green button and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, and then it takes your picture, and then that, I mean, to me, it's something that's entertaining for your guests. And then what I tell people this is that when I find a method, a way to where it doesn't cost me money to do it, it saves the customer money. Where if I got to pay out of pocket for something, then that pay out of pocket goes to the customer price. So, but it's like, and then it's like the booth that I built is real simple. It only takes me like what, maybe 2 hours to build it. Um,
Okay.
and like I said, it's a real simple, easy setup. I can easily put it in the back of my truck and move on out with it. And instead of spending, there's like 10,000, like some of these things are between 2,000 to $10,000. I just
Mm.
I take $300, build it the way I want it, put my iPad in it, and it's pretty much just as good as any other photo booth or selfie station. This is streaming, right? We'll talk about streaming music, but this is my DJ request system. I have one iPad that's designated just to take customers' requests. So when a guest comes
Okay.
up and they ask for something that, let's say I don't have it on any one of my laptops, then I go to the iPad, and the iPad will go in, and by using the streaming services, it allows me to go straight to the song and be able to play it without interfering with anything else that I'm doing.
Okay. That's
And that's
dope.
and this is something that's good for DJs, that if you're having a problem with requests and you don't have a large media library, then streaming is a good way to go, because when you go to stream something like Spotify, if you got a Spotify account, Spotify pretty much has access to at least 99% of the music that's current and up to date. Mike, well, Spotify would be, the thing I like about Spotify is I could put down that I don't want, I just want clean music. I make that selection, and so the only music that we play is a clean version of that song. But streaming is a good way to go. For me, streaming is a good way to go for requests, and that's the only time I use music streaming, is just only for music requests. Then you have one designated iPad, which is, this is the newest and latest greatest thing I just added in, is the iPad Mini. With the iPad Mini, is small, compact, and it gives me the capability to put it anywhere to broadcast. So like now, let's say once upon a time I had an iPad Air, and I did a wedding. It was kind of windy outside. The wind blew the stand down, and by it blowing the stand down, it completely destroyed the screen on the iPad Air. Well, to replace the screen on an iPad Air, it's going to cost you about $300. Which is almost the same equivalent to most iPads. So what I did was I got an iPad Mini, where number one, it's smaller, and when I put it on the stand, it's not as heavy, so it's able to stay up. And I already put it through the wind test and everything to make sure that it won't fall down. So I went a little bit smaller. Still does 4K capability. So when it's broadcasting or video recording, it's still able to capture and do good video.
Okay. So
And
4K is the best one. 4K.
anything that says 4K or for quality is always a great thing. And the iPad Mini, because like most of the iPads, like the iPad Mini 6th generation, the iPad Air, and the iPad Pro all do 4K capability. So any of those iPads is perfect for video recording, taking pictures, or broadcasting. And the biggest piece is the chip. Like this is an A15 chip in this one. A15 is, I think that's the next best thing to the M1, because I think after A15, I think the next one is M1. But it's like the next best thing to video. I might be wrong. It might be A16. I have to go back and look at it. But the chip, this tells you how fast the processor is. And the faster the processor, the better it is for broadcasting. So then I have one designated, and I think you probably seen a picture where I built a stand to where I could put all three of these minis in one location. And so by doing that, it's kind of like I put together, and Betty, let me grab it real quick.
Okay.
I decided to go ahead and grab everything so people can see what this looks like. But pretty much, this is my iPad just for streaming, and so this is kind of like this is kind of like the stand they use for cash registers for iPads. So what I did is I bought one, and I'm able to put it right on my DJ stand and use it for streaming, and then it's connected into the audio. So that one's first. Then I have this high-speed stand, which is used to where I could put all three iPad minis on one location. So I can take pictures, I can video record, and I can broadcast. So if I put the other mini, which is technically on another stick right now, but if I put the other mini in the middle, I can broadcast, video record, take pictures.
And I like that.
Can sit right in front of my stand, and I can sit here, and everything's touchscreen, so I'm able to sit back and control everything. So I call this my wall of control.
I like that.
So it gives me that capability to where, again, it allows me to have, like, I can still do this. I can be on my wall of control, take pictures, video record, broadcast, and then still DJ at the same time.
Woo! That's like, you gotta have fast fingers for that, man.
Well, like I said, it depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Like when you're doing weddings, you have that time. Now, at a club scene, or if I'm doing something a little bit more fast paced, it'll be a little bit different. Let's say when I get into the dancing, when we hit the dance floor, when we open up the dance floor, I won't be doing as much using the control wall versus the DJing, because that control wall is going to limit my capability.
Okay.
And when I say limit my capability, I might be able to hit the button and start everything up, but then my focus is more so of the music and DJ.
Okay.
So, but that's just something, by implementing something allows me to do a little bit more. And to me, I guess like DJing is great, but like being able to sit back and do everything at a fast pace using computer technology, I get kind of excited and I get kind of hyped with it. So then when I get hyped, it just makes things even better for me. It's just, so in other words, I'm having fun just like everybody else is having fun.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
And then, like I was saying with the mini, I use the mini more so for taking pictures. So that's just that control wall that you just saw of the different things set up to where it allows you to be able to do different things. And these are options. Don't get me wrong. All this equipment is all set up at one time, but it gives me multiple options based on the type of event that I'm doing. This little bad boy here, which you actually see this here, this was designed to work with the iPhone, the iPad, and it can work with Android. I can't vouch for Android because I haven't used it for Android yet, but it also could be connected into a laptop like a regular controller. I got this devices because since I decided to go iPad, I wanted to have the full capability of using my iPad. So this is actually a controller, just like the turntables from back in the day. Like that, for a lot of people don't know what a controller is. It's pretty much kind of like the two records, turntables. Let me say record, but two turntables and mixer that was used all together. So a controller does the same thing, and like with this, is all digital. Everything is digital because all your music is on one guarantee. Not guarantee. We're all together connected. The video mixer, this can be used. This right here, the price just went down on this thing. I paid $300 for it, so now it's like $250. But this is also a good thing to have for if you're broadcasting, if you're a podcaster, because it allows you to control up to 4 different cameras at one time.
Yep.
For me, I use 3 cameras and 1 laptop on it now. But you can connect up to 4 different devices and actually control it. If you're streaming, you control what people see, or if you have it hooked up to television screen, you can show what's on the television screen. And then, of course, the cameras that I like to use are the zoom cameras, because every zoom camera has a webcam feature to where you can use. Like right now, the camera I'm using is the zoom camera. It is the Q4N, which is pretty much the basic compared to, like, this was an upgrade, the Q8N, because it has a 4K capability, plus it has a built-in digital mixer. So you can hook up to 2 microphones to it. It allows you to webcam. It gives you webcam capability. It gives you to where you can broadcast. You can do all kinds of different things with this. And the reason why I like this one is that you can hook up wireless microphones to it and use it from a distance. And like I said, the QN, this is the Q4N. This is what I'm using right now to broadcast. So this is the high-speed camera. Up, I hit it. Yeah, there we go. This is the camera I'm using right now to broadcast, or I should say for this podcast, is this. And as you can see, the camera has a wide angle, so it allows you to capture a lot more. If I want to zoom directly on me, I can. Or if I want to show the whole room, I can. That's what I love about this camera,
Okay.
is the wide angle. And then these are my 2 little smaller cameras. They're also 4K capability, but they're small and compact. So they can do everything. And these are the ones I use for my left and right side. So it gives me a capability of catching 150-degree wide angle. So normally what's on the left was on the right. Normally it's like the guest to the left, guest to the right, or it could be the head table to the left and the guest on the right. Either or. It allows me to capture the entire room.
You know what? So I'm listening to, okay, so we got a camera on the left and the right, right?
Mhm.
So when you're putting everything together, how do you do that? Like,
Well, the thing is, like, if you're doing, like, how, like, if you ever see when a camera fades from one camera to the next camera to make it look like you're trying to show what's going on. Well, when I
yeah,
get all the video footage down, if I see something that was, let's say, on the left, on the right throughout the video footage, I could kind of like edit the video to where it kind of fades to the left, fades into the right, and then you have the main camera, which is primary, which capturing everything, and then you have your cameras to left, right. No, most of the time, the material on both of those are just, it's good info, good to have, but don't really need it because the primary camera caught it. Um,
okay,
so it's just a different way of having extra footage of what's
got you,
going on, what's taking place.
got you.
So, but that's just, again, that was just a complete rundown of. Let me see here. Stop sharing. That was just a complete rundown of just the equipment, just some of the equipment, and my operation. And that's to say, what I have to go with is what I need in order to meet the standards of my operation. And my operation is not only is to be your DJ, but to be a basic photographer, basic videographer. When I say basic, a reason why I say it's basic because it's not my primary focus for your event, is a secondary job. And as a secondary job, it now becomes a basic task. It's not a when I say basic, it's just like I said, it's not a professional, but it's something that's basic to where a lot of people, they love what it is. I mean, because like some of them think it is professional, but to me, I just want to make people understand is that a professional is someone that is that primary task of
Mm-hmm.
their job. So if you hire a photographer, their primary task is photography. That's a professional level. Me is a secondary task. So by it being a secondary task, it's basic. And that's pretty much the whole rundown. So what I would say this to my customers or to people looking for a DJ, check into what other things your DJ has to offer you. Me, I offer a package that nobody else can touch. Uh,
Facts.
that's something that's unique and different. Then I'm very unique and different from other DJ, and like striving to be unique is always a great thing in business.
Yeah,
And
because you in
then
your own lane.
right, and then I've done it so many times to where now I perfect it to where I don't have hiccups. And then if I have a hiccup, guess what? You will know because of all the technology I have to capture that backup. I have a backup for all my backups. So I have a primary, then I have a backup, and another backup.
That's
So
good.
for me to, and I think it's only happened maybe once, and that was because we were outdoors, and that's the only thing I can say about the Apple products is Apple does not work good in heat. Once the heat get to it, it will shut down. So that's the only thing that's bad about Apple. And I learned that the hard way during the wedding was I was video recording, broadcasting, and when the computer, or I should say when the Apple iPad got hot, it shut down. And so I learned from that point now is I got to keep the iPads in shade, a shady area to where they don't get hot. But that's it. But that's a full rundown. So next week I will talk in a little bit more in detail about the software because the software, that software that's what that kind of like makes it easy for me to do what I do. And I'll talk a little bit because we'll talk about Mixmaster Fusion. We'll talk about PC DJ Dex 3. I use a lot of stuff that normal other DJs. The most DJs now use Virtual DJ and Sereno. I don't use neither one of those. Those are primary. They got to the point where you have to pay for everything. If you want to do video, you have to pay for video. If you want to do this, or it's like they're that software is set up to where the DJs constantly have to pay out money to do those unique things. Me, I want something like Dex 3, PC DJ Dex 3. It comes with everything. I'm a type of DJ. I'm not looking to constantly keep paying somebody to do my job.
Facts.
I'm looking for something that's a one-shot deal, get it, and I can operate at the capacity that I want to operate. I want
that.
something that doesn't give me limitations. And like, so with the software I have, it gives me, like, when I say it gives me all kinds of methods and ways of doing things, that's the reason why I get into that versus Virtual DJ, where you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that. Virtual Soretto, you got to pay if you want special effects, you got to pay. It's like it just like now they got to the point now where they removed the apps off the iPads, where once upon a time you could download the app and it comes with everything. Now they want you to pay a monthly fee, just to use the DJ software. So I might not. Anytime they requires me to pay a monthly fee, I don't want it. And as a DJ, that's something you got to take into consideration. Anytime you have to take on something that you have to pay for it monthly, that's more money you have to add on to your price. So that's another thing I want customers to understand is a DJ's cost is primarily based on their operation. If you're working with equipment that doesn't cost a lot of money, then that's the reason why your price might be a little bit lower than somebody else. Like I had someone compliment me about my setup, my equipment, the Bose speaker systems, and the clarity is a lot of people love the clarity that the Bose put out. They said, "Man, that's the first time where I can hear the bass and the clarity of the song come out at the same time." Because on some systems, when you add too much bass, you can't still hear clear. With Bose speakers, you can add the bass and the clarity is still there. You don't lose anything. So that's why I tell people all the time is like, hey, Bose, all speaker systems that are up to par, like the JVs, the QSCs. I love all those speakers, but like I said, I have a set of QSCs, but my primary I love is my Bose speaker systems.
Yep, and it's good for like at your house too, for the the surround sound too.
And the thing about with Bose is, again, your Bose, your QSCs, and even your JVCs are JBLs. I keep saying JVCs, but JBLs. JVC. I'm thinking about old school, but JBLs.
Yeah.
All those they give you multiple capabilities. Any speaker system or power amp speaker system that gives you multiple, like if they have Bluetooth, if they have to where they have the built-in mixer in the back of it. I mean, those are all good things to have because if you have to do a standalone setup to where you're limited because of spacing, then those are always a great speakers to have. And see, now the new thing is not really new; it's been out for quite some time, but the Bluetooth capability is always a plus. because I can actually set up that, for example, go back to my iPad and connect into my two Bose speakers, and I don't even have to connect the cable.
You see, with technology, and you like a computer wizard, like, you know what I'm saying? You get it like that, so that's good.
And that's what's so funny. I look at my past. Is once upon a time I hated computers. I didn't want to know anything about computers, and then I had my supervisor, Sergeant Allen. Never forget him. And if you listen, Si, thank you again for forcing me to learn computers. He showed me how to do computers. This is a funny story. In 1998, 99, I was in Korea, and he forced me to learn computers. He had me like do computer work just to get me out of the regular, like how we used to do things back in transportation. And ever since he did that, like he come 2000, like 1 year later from that time frame, I designed a program by mistake through PowerPoint and got paid $4,000 for it.
Ooh.
So that lets you know, like that was that hardcore year of him teaching me computers. And then I turned around and was able to design a program. And I say by mistake, because all I was trying to do is simplify my job. I went and designed something that was dummy proof because I got tired of people coming. I worked at the ADAC. I got tired of people coming to the ADAC not knowing how to do what was required for them to pass us or for us to check their stuff off before it's put on the aircraft. So I designed this program to make it simple. They loved it. A lot of people said, "Hey, you need to do something with this." My first sergeant told me what to do, and I submitted to the Army Ideas of Excellence program. And at the Army level, I should say at the Fort Bragg level, they paid me $1,500 because they were saying I was saving the government so much money. And then it went up to the Department of the Army, and the Department of the Army paid me $2,500. So that was like every level it went. So of course, once it got to the Army level, it went to DOD, and then of course, September 11th happened, and everything kind of stopped from there. So I never heard anything else about it or anything after that. But I did get two levels, Fort Bragg level installation, and then I also got $2,500 from the Department of the Army.
Let's
So,
go.
so I was like, hey, I said, well, dang, if I did this by mistake, what am I going to do if I focused on it? So from there, I became real good with computers. I came once upon a time, I was a hacker. Kind of got away from doing. I mean, when I say hack, I had the capability of going in and doing stuff, but didn't never do anything illegal. I just stayed within the boundaries of what was legal. And I did. You know what's so funny is when I went to go get a degree in IT, I'm like, this degree sucks. And I'm not telling people out there who have computer degrees that. I'm just saying that it was just one of those things to where they taught you how to do things the long way process. It was like you got to do step 1, 2, 3, 4. Where me, I was doing step 1, 2, bam, done. So it was it was frustrating because they were teaching me how to do things the right way versus the quick way. So, but yeah, pretty much now what I do is all my skill sets, all my talents, I actually put into my business, and I use that skill set to promote and help other people too as well.
That's dope. That's dope. Next week is gonna be about that software. This week was about the hardware, and that's a whole system that you have.
Right. And that's where
you doing it by yourself.
And that's why I tell people it's not. Don't be and see, this is me and my wife, we joke about this all the time, but technology is something that's going to enhance and make things better for us in the future. A lot of people are scared of technology. A lot of people don't want to learn technology because they're stuck. They like the way they do stuff, and they want to do it. Just for a perfect example, here in the state of North Carolina, you still have people using typewriters to conduct business. You still have people who don't do digital operations for their business. They're still using the old school pencil and paper, pen and paper typewriters to do business. And that's, to me, it's like that's why North Carolina kind of like falls behind when it comes to certain things, is because not everybody's ready to embrace technology. A lot of people are scared of technology.
because they probably feel like they can't do it.
Right. But it's
And
easy. That's like, and to me, it's like if I can sit back and teach myself how to do this stuff. I didn't go to school for a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I've been doing, I had no educational background. It was just a matter of sitting behind a computer and playing with it, going through, checking out this PowerPoint. I became an expert at PowerPoint just because I was constantly using PowerPoint. And as I was using it, I was trying to find different methods and different ways to improve or to make it quicker or easier. It's just like a hyperlink. The power behind a hyperlink on a PowerPoint presentation is extremely crazy. You can shut down like a process of work just by putting a hyperlink into your PowerPoint presentation. So it's interesting. I mean, when you can build a intranet software off of using PowerPoint, that just it just lets you know how much power PowerPoint comes. A lot of people don't understand the power. And the thing is, it says PowerPoint. The word power lets you know is a powerful software. It's powerful and its capabilities are unlimited.
I got the PowerPoint. Like, boy, you know how to build things on there too. So
Right. I mean,
most definitely.
you could do a full rundown like with me when I have a theory and I want to test a theory. I'll go in and design it in PowerPoint, and PowerPoint will let me know how good that theory might work out. And then after I do it, I actually go out, pull out the equipment and try it, and then it works perfectly, just like I did in PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is a good way of testing out theories about simple things dealing with let's say hardware before you even touch it.
Wow. Wow. That's genius. You a genius, man. You
Right?
a
Because it's like
genius.
a lot of people don't know you can actually go in and do a commercial on PowerPoint, a digital commercial on PowerPoint. You can make commercials, you could do marketing tools, you could do all kinds of different things on PowerPoint. A lot of people don't understand the capability. Like you go into PowerPoint right now,
Hmm.
put together something, and then go to export. You can export it as an MP4 or as a GIF. MP4, of course, is a video, and a GIF is an animated picture. So when you can go in there, you can go in there and you can design it, and it's like bam. So instead of paying somebody like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to do certain things, just learning PowerPoint will save you a lot of money.
You got me thinking now. I want to do some stuff with PowerPoint now, like make commercials and
Yeah, because like most of my commercials, most of my flyers are all designed in PowerPoint. Like when I go in and I got the things like sparkling off on the left or jumping off on the side, or I got things moving, it's all done in PowerPoint.
mm,
So, like for
appreciate
example,
it.
you can take
Mhm.
a video, change it into a GIF, add it into PowerPoint, and bam, you got yourself a commercial or animated flyer. But technology, that's one of the things I stress to everyone is that by buying a piece of technology, you can simplify your operation. Um, me, my operation is based off of Apple iPads, and I'm able to simply like how many places you go now where everybody uses iPads now? You go to like when you go to what is it, Chick-fil-A, and they're doing the order
Yeah,
outside.
they got it. Yeah, they got it. Yep. Yep.
You go to most of the places in the that are the little small booths or in the restaurant
Mm-hmm.
in the in the mall. They're using
Yep.
iPads.
And you got that little swipe.
Right. So
Yep.
I tell people all the time, don't sleep on the iPad. Like I say, if you don't have one, if you plan on getting one, if you're going to do it right, I would say go ahead and get a Pro. If Pros are a little bit more expensive, you're talking about a $1,200 investment, but it will pay off in the end.
You gotta spend money to make money. So I
So
think that's a good investment, like you said, though. Um,
yeah, that's because my control wall, it's just like I just purchased additional equipment to enhance my video capability. Is I got this high speed microphone stand that I'm going to convert into a video stand, And when I say convert, all I gotta do is put on a little screw piece on the very top of that convert it from a 5/8 to a 1/4, which is the 1/4 is a standard connection for most camera video equipment. So all I have to do is take a 5/8 adapter, put it on the top of it, it converts it to a 1/4, which a 1/4, as you can see, that's 1/4. So by converting the iPad, an actual microphone stand to that, like this right here is a camera handle. So
Okay.
by taking something like a regular like adapter that goes in a microphone stand, now I can make that microphone stand into an actual camera holder
Hmm.
or for my iPad or camera or whatever. So what I do is I use it for the iPad, and then since it's a 12-inch base, that makes it a little bit more sturdy, so it doesn't move left or right if I put it outside and use it outside.
Okay. 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 You making it make sense, man. Y'all already know every Tuesday y'all can get all the information. Like he spreads the information, like free information. Like he just putting out these gems out here, and I appreciate you for dropping them because even though that like your everything that you use, I'm gonna start using with my podcasting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I appreciate all the information. Like so for sure. So every Tuesday, Mario, let them know, like, man, let them know every Tuesday. This is where they can get that information, man.
Yeah, every Tuesday here at Why Not Podcast, I will be here to give out information. Most of the information is to enhance the knowledge, so my customers understand what they're getting into when they purchase. When they go out and you get a DJ, these are things to think about. Look at and this is one of the things when I first came on the scene. I had DJ. Oh, people don't talk about their equipment. Why are you talking about your equipment? Well, that's what enhances. That's what makes the event better. If I got good quality
Facts.
equipment, then and if I'm using all the right technology, like I was telling someone before, most of the time when I do a wedding, I use $20,000 worth of equipment. Now, if someone's using $20,000 worth of equipment, that means that you're pretty much your event is probably going to be in good hands if the person knows what they're doing. Keyword, knows what they're doing. But I say that because I used to highlight my equipment, and a lot of these was like, "Why are you talking about your equipment? That's not important. That's not important." And I'm like, "Well, it's important to me because this is how I work. This is part of my operation." So I was like, when I first started, I was real big on highlighting equipment, and now what I do more, I spend more time educating the customer because when I say, okay, I offer you a monogram, they're like, what's a monogram? Okay, a monogram is it projects an image onto the floor or wall that personalizes your event. A lot of people don't know monogram, gobo, the same thing. Is just the way people use the terminology. So it's good to take time to educate people, or because like a lot of customers, believe it or not, they'll purchase stuff and have no idea what it is. They'll purchase a service and have no idea that this is a capability that comes with it. Like I had one customer didn't know that was part of her package. Even though I gave her the full presentation, she didn't know that was part of her package. I said the term, explained what it was, but then it didn't register. So now I'm taking more time to educate, and that's why I explain to people: if you're providing a service, take a little time to educate your customers on what that service is, especially if it's unique.
Facts. Facts. I'm putting in his information in the comment section. Yeah, section. His telephone 910-261-1518, right?
50. Yep, that's it. 910
So
261 1518. Yep, that's it.
yeah. So I got that for y'all. And y'all could just Google DC2DW. You can see it for yourself. Um, you want to know anything? This is the person to talk to about DJing and about the different equipment. Like he easy to talk to, and the knowledge is for y'all to see, and what I mean it's here. So we're providing it, and I appreciate you, Mario, for real.
Well, thank you. And I tell you so, if even if you're not going to hire me, that's fine. If you have questions about DJ services or things in general about the service, I say I have no problem you calling, asking me questions. Because to me, it's all about getting knowledge out there, putting knowledge out there, so you know you're getting a great service for your event.
Facts. That's what it's all about, being service to others, and that's what he's doing. Even if you're not, booking him, because he booked anyway to like,
Right.
I mean, he booked. So, I mean, yeah, you might
I
have to
mean,
book him in 2025 or 2026.
well, I did have two Saturdays come up. They had to, both of them were Christmas holiday parties, and both of
Okay.
them they pretty much had to cancel them due to, I guess one company was having financial issues or something, so they had to cancel their party because most likely I guess they're filing for bankruptcy. With the
Okay.
company party, which I kind of caught me way off guard. I say, "Whoa, that's too much information," but okay, got it. And then the other one, they decided not to do one because nobody was buying tickets or wanted to be a part of it. Which I say, okay, it's kind of early to be purchasing tickets. It's like September, but I get it. You know, I guess nobody wanted to attend the. It was again, it was a business corporate type thing, and so they both canceled. So that's why I told. I think I posted yesterday that the third and I think it was yesterday, the third and the 10th, or was it the third and 10th? Yeah, third and 10th of December. Both are Saturdays that are open in December. So those are the only two Saturdays I have open for the rest of the year.
So, like I said, and then 2023 is all it's done too, right?
Yeah, it's actually, believe it or not, I got one more presentation. So I think I'm up to six, either 5 or 6 Saturdays are open. And if this person tomorrow books, that goes down to one less Saturday that's available. Because
Listen, that's 2023 though, Mario.
yeah,
We
that's
in
2023.
2022.
Right.
So that says everything about your services. It says everything about you as a human. Like, people love coming to you, and there's a lot of customers that keep coming back and coming back because
Right.
they know the quality and how you really care about, the services that you provide. So,
Right.
Mario, that's how you work it, bruh.
Yeah,
Period.
because like for example, this weekend, which was the first time I worked an event at that caliber. When I say that caliber, it had so many moving parts and so much talent in one, to where it was like, okay, this is a lot going on. And that customer hired me a couple of years back to do her husband's retirement party. And she said, since I did a great job with that, she said she had to have me back. And so
Yeah.
I have a lot of customers that say anytime they do an event, they're coming to me. And I love it when they come back. And I hate that sometimes I'm booked when they do come back, because that's just one of those things, is that once I build that develop that relationship with a customer, I always want to provide for that customer. I want to always do the right thing, or not do the right thing, but do it again for them, because we had such a great time the first time doing it. Hey, I want to do it again. And
And
so
that's
with
what it's
April and
about.
Will, with their event, The Gathering, it was, I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot going on behind the backgrounds to get it together. But when it came time to execute, everything turned out perfect.
For sure, for sure. That's what it is, man. Y'all already know, every Tuesday, Life of a DJ Entertainer with DJ Ragtop, this is what it's all about, just bringing forth knowledge and helping people to know what to do and what not to do, and making sure that the customer knows about the product, and that's what it's about. Because a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people don't provide the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? All
Right.
they provide is the tab. Well, you pay this much, I'm gonna do this, but you break things down, and that's what a lot of people like. That's rare. So I'm glad that you on this platform teaching. I appreciate you for sure.
And then, you know what? And that's one of the things I stress to people is being successful is easy. Helping others be successful is a challenge. And that's where, to me, is like, I can make it to the top, but like I said, for me to come back and help others get to the top, that's even a better service to the community.
Yes, I
So
like
that's
that.
that's how I look at things, is that if I succeed, I want everybody else to succeed.
Love that. I love that energy. Tell me your email again, because I like to put the email in as well.
My email address is okay. Just saw something. My email address is dc2dw.ceo@outlook.com. That's the
Okay.
best way to meet me. If you type in DC2DW, it gives you a full like rundown of all my social media that's out there, video clips, pictures, a little bit of everything. So,
Yeah, and reviews, 5-star reviews. He got 5-star reviews, like for real. So
yeah,
we got to put that out there. So y'all want information and y'all have any questions, just call him, email him, and he'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, right, Mario?
say that one more time.
When they email you or get in contact with you, like with the email, you'll get back in contact with them between 24 and 48 hours, right?
Correct. Yeah, normally if it's 24 to 48, like I said, and I want to stress to people, okay, I do shut down on federal holidays. So if you try to reach me on a federal holiday, you're probably not going to hear a response until the very next day. I had someone, I guess they sent a late. I wonder sometimes how do people come with the DJ? Someone sending me something at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, wow, on a federal holiday. I said, yeah, that one. I just started laughing, like, wow, they're serious about their DJ. I was like, okay, they're serious about hiring a DJ at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
They did
okay.
some research,
Yeah,
man.
they were doing some research. They did some serious homework before they reached out to me. So I was like, wow, okay. But hey,
Yeah,
yeah, I ready for you to do the research, and that's good. When I see that, I'm like, okay, I can tell they must have been doing a lot of research before they reached out. So that's good.
for sure, for sure. Y'all already know we do this every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. I hope everybody continue having a great day. And happiness is an inside job. I'm gonna leave that with you. It's not about people make you happy. So people could only enhance happiness. And so that's the word that I'm gonna leave y'all with today. Happiness is an inside job. Mario, you got anything you want to say to the people before we go?
No, the only thing I can say is, look, share the knowledge. Don't hold it all in. Share your knowledge. If you got special talents, you got special skill set, share it. It's like, keep in mind, you're not competing with other people. You're only competing with yourself. So share that knowledge, help other people understand what it is you do. Educate. Take time to educate people on what's going on out here, because that's what's going on with, like, people who lack education are the ones making bad decisions. So educate the people so then you can make the right decisions.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Once again, this is Why Not Us podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday. We out.
All right. See y'all next time.
For sure.
You can be what you wanna be. See what you wanna see. Go where you wanna go. Oh. Why not? Why not us? Why not us? Why not? Why not us with Ken J? Why Not Us podcast with Ken J.